Do you remember that time that we went out to the Farnes? So we went out to the Farnes, had like customers with us, and it was like we were kind of ringing the skipper the night before, going, "Are you sure it's going to be all right?" And it was like, "Yeah, we'll just go." And so it was a bumpy crossing, and we got to the dive site, and there was already divers in the water, and the customers were starting to look a bit green because it was pretty choppy, and we kind of like got the staff together and said, "What do you want to do?" And that was a point where the sunk cost fallacy could have played in, because we'd like got all the way out, like a 45-minute crossing. People are already in their suits, geared up, about to jump, and we're huddled in the captain's cabin going, "I don't think we should do this. I don't think we should do this. What are we going to do? What are we going to say to the customers?"
Yeah.
So eventually we decided, like, right, we're not going to dive it. It doesn't feel right. Even though there's divers in the water, it doesn't matter. It doesn't feel right. So we went to the customers and said, like, "We've decided not to dive. Head back to land." And on the way back, I was thinking, I wonder how other people felt, like the customers were feeling at that time when, we rocked up the dive site, it's choppy as hell, we're going to kit up and get in. Like, what were they feeling in that minute? So when we got back on shore, I asked people, I was like, if we'd got in there, would you have followed? Some of them said it didn't feel right, but I would have still followed, because you guys are like the experts, you know if it's going to be right. And some of them were like, I'm glad we didn't get in.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we didn't get in. I was like, well, why didn't you say anything? And they just felt that they couldn't say something, which it hit me. I was like, oh my God, that's not right. I need people to speak up and say, like, if something doesn't feel right, I want to know about it, so we can like act accordingly, so we can change things, so we can not dive, so whatever it is that we're going to do. So there's a lot of dynamics that go on in, like...
Yeah, it's always difficult, yeah. Like you say, it is that, especially if you took time off and you've been...
Yeah.
If it's a special trip, like a special wreck or something, it's been building up, and then just to have one little thing get in the way, you kind of do everything you can to push past it.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with human factors and diving. I think it's so interesting. But if anybody else wants to get into it, like if you want to have, there's loads of blogs and free resources and stuff you can read about it. If you Google the Human Diver, Gareth Locke and the team there do awesome work that I think every diver should have a look at, and then I think pros should definitely get involved in the training and stuff. That's
yeah, definitely. I think beginners, it's probably a bit much, but being aware of it.
Being aware of it, definitely.
But yeah, every pro, definitely every tech diver should.
It's just like a whole different skill set to have around teamwork and communication and understanding how emotions in your brain kind of affect the things that are going on in diving. It's really interesting.